The games happen on March 23rd, Wednesday. Let's jump right into it. The first game is the Charlotte Hornets. They were an 8-point favorite going to this game. The Knicks won on back-to-back without Julius Randle, and they won by 15 points. RJ Barrett, another great game. With Julius Randle out, it's pretty much guaranteed he's going to get 20 shots up, averaging over 25 points a game. Really, really good here. For the New York Knicks, I didn't really talk about Knicks because they don't really have any great fantasy options. They have some guys who could stream down the stretch, especially the guard spot. They just finished their back-to-back, but they do have a fairly friendly schedule. They got a game on Friday, they got a game on Sunday, and they got another game on Monday. Interestingly, this guy Jericho Sims started at the center because Mitchell Robinson and both Nerlens Noel has been out for 2 months. And Obi Toppin started this game. So if Julius Randle is out, if Mitchell Robinson is out next game, we could stream these two guys. They could come in here and have an impact. Obi Toppin, as we can see here, had 11 rebounds and steal on the block. But this game was against Charlotte Hornets. So I don't know how much it means because they don't really play any defense. Alec Burks, great game, 2 steals and a block. Evan Fournier with 4 threes. Yep, all these guys could be streamed when it comes to Friday and Sunday. And Emmanuel Quickly is the worst guard out of the three. If you need some guard stats, especially when you need threes, I love Evan Fournier. Alec Burks provide a bit everything, adding some defensive stats. For the Charlotte Hornets, pretty disappointing. And in the playoffs, it's all about the schedule. They got 2 more games this week. Miles Bridges did not make a 3, 15 points, 9 assists. Really stands out. With LaMelo Ball only 5 because he scored 32 points with 6 threes. So all these guys, they are pretty okay. PJ Washington and Mason Plumlee could be streamed. And Cody Martin, if you need steals, you could stream him Friday and Sunday. And Kelly Oubre Jr. now, now he's not getting any time. With Isaiah Thomas coming here, Isaiah Thomas will get 10 to 15 minutes a night. Kelly Oubre Jr. was getting 25. This game only plays 5 minutes. And how many guys did they play? They played 10 guys, right? Montrezl Harrell now only gets 13 minutes. So it's just drop city for a lot of these guys. Let's go to the next game. Ooh, another upset, I suppose. Atlanta Hawks lost by 20 points. It was a back-to-back for them too. Trae Young just put up a huge game versus the New York Knicks. This game, 21 and 9 assists with 2 steals. Not the best game, man. Bogdanovic, only 28 minutes. He was questionable for both games. Obviously played super well versus the Knicks. This game, 13 points, 3 threes and 2 steals. That's not bad. Really bad from the field, but Bogdanovic, like last year, just putting up great numbers toward the end of the season. We know that because Cam Reddish got traded, right? But yeah, he's been super good. If you picked him up, I think he's giving you that huge boost. Delon Wright, because of the blowout, he got some extra few minutes. But if Trae is playing, I don't think I trust him too much. And this game, Gallinari is also out. So we have Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot came in, played 21 minutes. He's not really fantasy relevant. And Okongwu had a fairly good game. 5 for 7 from the field, 7 rebounds and 2 blocks. If you need some field goal and blocks, Okongwu could be a good option. And the Atlanta Hawks, if we look ahead, they do have a great schedule next week. They got 4 games with the back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday. So if you are, if you made it that far, if you make it this to next week, he's a great stream option for blocks. Clint Capella really struggled. 17 minutes, 0 for 5. Yeah, just really struggled versus Detroit. Isaiah Stewart, who only played just 22 minutes. Okay, let's look at the Detroit side. Sadiq Bey, he's been getting a lot of defensive stats lately. 2 steals again, averaging almost 1 steal on the season now. I remember this guy being like a 0.6, 0.7 steals. Now he's moved it up to 1, so that's pretty impressive with 3 threes. Next year, we know he's going to make a lot of threes. He's going to score a lot. But if he can add in those steals, that really kind of, Gary Trent Jr. type of player. He's just going to score a decent amount of points with a lot of threes and get a lot of steals. Not sure he can be that Gary Trent 2 steals per game guy, but who knows, right? Gary Trent last year was averaging 0.8 steals as well. Jeremy Grant just 22 minutes. Yeah, two fouls. Also due to the blowout, he didn't play that much. He didn't play really Other than Killian Hayes, nobody really play high minutes. Killian Hayes, great game. Yep, this is the guy that we could take third round, next year. But the turnovers and low field goal. If you pair him up with the James Harden, right? That's a pretty good combo. If you pick a Harden first and Kate Cunningham third or fourth. Corey Joseph, yeah, low minutes. Don't think we really want to stream him either. Detroit, they do have 2 more games, Friday and Sunday, so I think there should be better streaming options. Like if you're looking for steals and assists, Killian Hayes probably better, who played 33 minutes. Marvin Bagley still getting 25 to 30 minutes. But with Isaiah Stewart now, I think, and they do have 2 games left. It could be an okay streaming option. I feel like there are better options out there, especially like if you look at the game guys from the Kings, Sacramento Kings. A lot of teams like Indiana Pacers, because all the injuries, there'll be some guys with some opportunity coming and put up big numbers. Isaiah Stewart, yep, huge rebounder, 10 rebounds and a steal and a block. They are pretty good, but outside of that, not really doing much. And again, played just 23 minutes due to a blowout. He could be a solid hold, one of the best rebounders out there. Let's go to the next game. The Sacramento Kings barely beat the Pacers. Well, this is the game Tyrese Halliburton. He was questionable coming in. He had some back issues, and I'm surprised. Well, he did take 14 shots. Just really struggled this game, but 15 assists is huge. 3 steals and a block. Let's see if he plays tonight. I mean, he was questionable. Maybe he just wanted to play his former team. I think he's gonna get rested tonight. Yeah, they do have a back-to-back. He just toughed it up because he does want to play his former team. We'll see what happens tonight. Maybe he plays. Buddy Hield, great game, 4 steals and a block. But they just barely lost to the Kings without De'Aaron Fox. Oh, maybe we should talk about Kings first. Yeah, if you're looking for some big man stats, right now Damian Jones is gonna start. Because Rashawn Holmes is still out, so he's like the only center left on this team. So he should be good to go. Same thing with Trey Lyles, who only played 22 minutes, but they really need some body, big man, especially. Alex Len also going to come in and get 18 minutes, but Damian Jones is the pickup. And the Kings, Sacramento Kings, oh yeah, they don't have a good schedule. They only got 2 games left this week. But 4 games next week if we just to look ahead. So could some of the Kings guys could be good streaming options. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, like Davion Mitchell, I like him the most. Justin Holiday could also be a streaming option next week. They got 4 games. And De'Aaron Fox and, those 2 guys, they're going to get shut down. So, Chimezie Metu, we could also stream him as a big man. They're going to be a lot of, just like Pacers and Portland, some of the Oklahoma City Thunder, some of the young teams, tanking teams. They're going to have random guys come in and put up great numbers. So, and they got a good schedule next week. So, Chimezie Metu, Trey Lyles, Damian Jones, I'll keep an eye on all of them. Davion Mitchell, I'm pretty sure he's going to come in and play huge minutes. He's not going to shoot the ball this well, but he should have solid enough points and assists. And he's a great defender, but he doesn't get that many steals. And obviously, he's going to hit threes too. Dante DiVincenzo played 31 minutes. Yeah, he could also be interesting. A lot of guys on this team. Same thing on the Indiana Pacers. Gogo Badaze, a steal and a block. And Isaiah Jackson left. He played 7 minutes, had 2 steals and 2 points. He may miss tonight's game. So same thing, the big man situation here. Oshae Brissett, we could stream him. Gogo Badaze, we could stream him. The Pacers still have 2 more games left, and if we look ahead, for the Pacers also got 4 games next week. So Gogo Badaze, Oshae Brissett. If Isaiah Jackson does come back next week, we should also pick him up. And they also have like Jalen Smith, who is out at the moment. So a lot of big men on this team could be interesting. Malcolm Brogdon was out this game due to rest. Terrence Taylor played 30 minutes, also put up an okay line. But I like Gogo Badaze at the moment, as long as Isaiah Jackson is out. And Isaiah Jackson doesn't need 30 minutes to put up numbers. He could just come in and play 20 and give you 2 steals and 3 blocks. You mainly get him for those defensive stats, right? He doesn't really offer much else. Some rebound, some field goal, obviously. The next game, the Jazz got destroyed by the Celtics. They're still missing Bogdanovic, and they just keep changing the starting lineup. This game, Eric Pascal started, played 25 minutes. Yeah, we're not really worried about him. We should continue, going with Jordan Clarkson. 10 points, 2 steals, 1-3. Not the best game, but due to the blowout, they still have another. Oh wow, they only have 1 game left this week. The Utah Jazz. Oh, that's next week. The Jazz, they got 2 more games. So yeah, just continue to ride it out with Jordan Clarkson, Rudy Gobert, and Donovan was the only one who played well. Mike Conley put up an okay line. But in terms of fantasy, Royce O'Neal could be streamed for those 2 games if you're looking for some defensive stats. But everybody else is really, and Jordan Clarkson, of course, but nobody else has really much value. For the Celtics, yep, Robert Williams, he's in and out of the lineup. And when he plays just 24 minutes. It doesn't matter. 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and 4 blocks, 12 rebounds. What a beast this guy is. Just super, super impressive. And Al Horford had 3 blocks as well. So both guys played well. Al Horford hit 3 threes. Jason Tatum, easy work, 26 points with 5 threes. Jaylen Brown, they all played well versus this Jazz team. They're just really, Celtics just really, they're just rolling at the moment, unstoppable, right? Jazz is a playoff team. They just blow them out, 30 points, no worries. He's gonna be scary. Derrick White played 30 minutes due to the blowout. I don't think we need to roster him. And Marcus Smart had a career high with 13 assists. Just refused to shoot. Only took 3 shots. It was just too easy setting teammates up. Let's go to the next game. I think Warriors is also in the same situation. A lot of guys gonna have a lot of usage opportunities with Curry out. Jordan Poole, there's really not much to say. This guy he's definitely helping people win leagues, right? In the last 2 weeks, he's averaging like 25 points with 26 ranked playing in the last 2 weeks. 26 points. This is, we drafted Jordan Poole early in the season because we know he's going to play well. He's going to have, without Clay, right? In the playoffs, in the preseason, he had a couple good games. And then season started, he was putting up okay numbers. When Clay came back, Jordan Poole just fell off the cliff. Wasn't getting 25 minutes. And now, look at him now, in the last month or so. Unbelievable. 26 points. He's averaging 26 points in the last 2 weeks. That's like maybe not top 5, but like top 10 in the NBA. You just get a guy like that on the waiver wire shooting 52% from the field and 85% from the free throw line with 4.6 threes. That is just unbelievable boost in those 4 categories and 5.1 assists as well. So really, really good. And I don't see any reason why he would slow down though, because Curry's gonna be out. This game Clay was out too. So Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond also was out. So Jonathan Kuminga came in, and if these guys ever get a rest, Jonathan Kuminga I think is the best stream out of everybody, and Otto Porter Jr. is also out. So all the guys out. They still beat Miami Heat though. Andrew Wiggins had 22 points, sure, but he hasn't been the same when Clay came back. Jordan Poole had 22 points with 3 threes here. Really surprising. They went to, and you see Jimmy Butler and Coach Spoelstra had that heated argument during a timeout. And, I guess it's just frustrating. They got beaten pretty bad versus the Sixers the other night without their best players, Jimmy Butler, 20 points, 2 steals, okay game, but Jimmy Butler has not been good since the hot start. 29th ranked player. Like, we look at him as a top 5, top 10 player. He hasn't been that. I know he's hurt. He hasn't been getting the steals, averaging 1.5, which is still good, but not the 2 he's getting earlier this season. And he's shooting 45%. He was shooting 50% for a good part of the season. I felt at the time that was too high, but 45 is obviously a bit low, and he's just not 100%. Just every back-to-back, he's gonna get that questionable tag. He plays one game, rest the other. Now great. Ben Adebayo, in the meanwhile, just continue to put up great numbers. 7 for 10 from the free throw is not great, but he's been getting a lot of defensive stats. This game, just one steal, but give him a pass here. Duncan Robinson hit 4 threes, while Kyle Lowry hit 6 threes. With Tyler Hero out. But yeah, this team, they don't really have any fantasy talent outside of the guys that need to be rostered. So not much to talk about. The next game was a shootout. The Nets scored 120 points, but the Grizzlies scored 132 points without Ja Morant. And remember, they're like 15-2 without Ja Morant, and you can say that they play some bad teams, but still, they are 15-2. So you could make an argument, Ja Morant can take them to the next level because he's a superstar. But even without Ja, they can get a bunch of wins in the regular season, no problem, especially versus this Nets team. It's just super top heavy at this point. KD and Kyrie took 55 shots combined, and the whole team took 87. So they're like 70% of their offense. So you can bet on them to score 60 every single night. I feel like KD, yep, a monster line, and Kyrie, yeah. These two guys without Harden, they're just going hard. And next season, both guys are first round players. Kyrie maybe a little, but like in the last 2 or 3 seasons, we clearly see whenever Kyrie plays, he's a top 7, top 8 player. Whenever he plays. So you don't take him at the end of the first is because the injury concerns. And now the New York City is opened up. He can actually play at home games now. So should be no concerns next year. Both guys are first round players. Not much else to say. They play so well. Brought in the defensive stats as well. Bruce Brown, yep, had 4 blocks. He's a must roster. 7 rebounds. He's just playing super well lately. Andre Drummond came back, so Claxton only get 20 minutes. They do have another back-to-back toward the end of the week. So if you need some big man stat, you could still have Claxton or have Andre Drummond, stream him. And Patty Mills went 0 for 4. That really sucks. But outside these players, yeah, they don't really have anybody fantasy relevant. Goran Dragic, if Kyrie doesn't play, but now Kyrie's gonna play at home games, so you could just let him go. For the Grizzlies, Dylan Brooks, 21 points. Desmond Bane, 23 points. DeAnthony Melton, yes, with Ja Morant out, he's gonna get a few extra minutes. That's really great to see. So in my opinion, he's a must roster with Ja out. Didn't really provide defensive stats this game, which is surprising, but had it going offensively. Hit 6 threes. Tyus Jones, what a game from him as well. 10 assists and a steal. Oh, Ja Morant, he should not be out for that long, to be honest. Where's Ja? Oh, I'm not seeing him. He's not ranked in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, he's not ranked. He's actually listed questionable the next game. So he could be back. If he does come back, Tyus Jones and DeAnthony Melton, these guys we could let them go. Jaren Jackson Jr. continued to shoot at just unbelievable low clip, but it doesn't matter. He's 42nd ranked player on the season. Why? Because he's averaging 2.3 blocks, and with Miles Turner pretty much down for the season, he's like the best shot blockers out there in the entire league, while shooting 41%. So with Jaren Jackson Jr., you could have a very unique team because he does make threes. So you have a guy that's blocking this many shots, also make threes, and a low field goal guy. So you could have like a guard team, and you pair him up with Jaren Jackson Jr., and you'll be decent. You'll be decent in blocks because he blocks so many shots. 4 blocks here, really good. 2 threes. But scoring wise, and he hasn't been shooting the ball at all, like only averaging 16 points. I think 2 years ago he was averaging 18, 19. So offensively, the Grizzlies got a lot of weapons, so they don't really need him to score that much. So 16 points is fine. It's like 2 points off, but what's really good is the defensive stats, huge. Steven Adams, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He also had a huge game from Steven Adams. But again, like the Nets, they don't really play much defense. Same thing with the Grizzlies. The next game is the Timberwolves lost to the Phoenix at home. They were up like 10 points at some point in this game, and Phoenix just pulled away late. The late game execution of this team is pretty scary, and they're gonna get CP3 back. So if CP3 is out there on the waiver wire, I would pick him up. He might play tonight, he might not. If you are not in a close matchup and you're still in it, you have to pick up CP3. If your finals opponent, you need a steals and assists because CP3 is going to give you that assist leader in the league. So you got to have him. So Cameron Payne's time might be over soon. Still want to roster him, but yeah, like he's just as good as CP3 when it comes to getting the assists. 9 assists here, 13 points. Devin Booker actually got his 28 points. 28 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Pretty good. And DeAndre Ayton absolutely went off versus Cat. Yeah, Cat is not a great defender, but good to see Ayton doing this type of things. You know, he can do it, yeah, but just every other game just put up very boring 16 points and 9 rebounds, that type of game, and no defensive stats. Jay Crowder, we could stream him. Mikal Bridges played 39 minutes, my God. If Cam Johnson comes back, I love Cam Johnson, so we should, he should be getting 30 minutes, close to 30 minutes every night. But also he's just out for a long extended period of time. And Torrey Craig with Jay Crowder playing, we shouldn't really stream him. We could let him go. For the Timberwolves, not much has changed this team. I mean, all the core guys are playing. D'Lo has not been great, 6 points, 7 assists. Patrick Beverley, no defensive stats, but but Patrick Beverley needs to be rostered. This Timberwolves team, they got 2 more games, but there's really nobody really worth. Maybe Malik Beasley if you're looking for threes, but I feel like there are better options out there. With all the guys healthy, he only gets 23 minutes, but he did make 4 threes. Taurean Prince, we could let him go. Vanderbilt had a good game in just 26 minutes, honestly. So we could continue. If you need rebound, field goal, and steals, he provide pretty good value in those 3 categories. And Anthony Edwards had another mediocre game. The guy was playing super well for majority of the season, and then he got hurt. It just hasn't been the same since. That kind of sucks. If you got him, the next game, I love talk about Oklahoma City Thunder every single year when we get to the end because there's just so many. Well, this game, Okiki, yes, if Wendell Carter Jr. continues to miss games, we got to have him. Did not have a steal, but 34 minutes of him. On most nights, he'll give you 2 steals. Franz Wagner, 21 points. Yeah, is it worth holding on to this guy? If they don't have a good schedule, I'm perfectly fine to let him go. Yeah, they have 3 games. Perfect. They got only 1 game left in the next 4 days. Drop him. If you're in a close matchup, and it's not like he's gonna. Without him, you can't win the ship. You can definitely find better at this point. On the waiver wire. It used to be 12 teams competing for the waiver wire. At this point, it should just be really next week, or it should just be 2 teams left. So the waiver wire opens up a lot. You just have a lot of options. Franz Wagner, Chuma Okiki, we talked about him. We should drop him, because there's only 1 game left. And Wendell Carter Jr., if you're in a close matchup, he's also somebody you could let him go, although he's been playing so well lately. Mo Bamba played just 23 minutes. Has 2 blocks and 10 rebounds. Can you let Mo Bamba? Actually, you need his blocks. So, yeah, I think this is somebody you want to think twice. But again, if in your finals matchup, you're gonna win blocks or you're gonna lose blocks, then you can let him go. He's mainly just 1 category. He does provide some rebound, but it's not huge volume. You can find guys to replace him. Cole Anthony had a decent game with 11 assists, 17 points. But they just beat the Warriors and they got beat bad by the Oklahoma City Thunder. RJ Hampton coming, but they don't have a good schedule. They're really not worth talking about. And same thing with Oklahoma City Thunder. They only have 1 more game left this week. Shea was out this game, so Trey Mann played 28 minutes. I don't know why they only played him 20 minutes. He actually had a really good game, while Theo Maledon also had it going versus his bad Magic team. I don't know how much it means, but for next week, they only got 1 game left, so. But next week, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have 4 games. So Prokashevsky, let's go keep write him out. 3 for 10, yes, but look at the stat: 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Come on, we gotta grab him. Darius Bazley, yes, 30 minutes, great. Next week we should continue streaming this guy. Isaiah Roby, another decent game. Roby is such a tease, man. You know, you have games like this. The next game he plays 10 minutes, or if Shea is playing, he plays just 20 minutes and in foul trouble and just destroy your efficiency. But games like this, you just go wow. But they did play a bad team, Orlando Magic. But all these guys, we gotta keep track of these guys next week when we come back next week. If you make it that far, they have 4 games this week. You should let all these guys go. To be honest, if you got enough acquisitions, you should stream that spot, get way more value out of those. Let's go to the next game. The Houston Rockets lost to the Mavericks 91. That's expected even without Doncic. So Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. Oh my God, Kevin Porter Jr. is a drop in my opinion. Yeah, very disappointing season actually. Played just 28 minutes here with 4 fouls. Jalen Green, we should continue to hold on to him. And the Rockets, they have a back-to-back coming up. Yeah, Friday and Saturday. So if you got Kevin Porter Jr., I don't think you should drop him actually. Wait till Saturday. You know, some of these guys just continue streaming him. Jalen Green, of course, you gotta have him. Christian Wood, a double-double after career night. Jason Tate and Eric Gordon. Now these guys just getting 23 minutes. They're just splitting minutes with Garrison Matthews, Dennis Schroeder, Kenyon Martin Jr. So it's interesting. Even Şengün got 22 minutes. Şengün, yeah, great stream for the back-to-back Friday and Saturday. He'll be a really good stream. With 3 fouls. But, you know, because they play so many guys, there's not one guy that really stands out on this Rocket team. Obviously, this was also a blowout, so some guys got extra minutes. But Jason Tate and Eric Gordon, they have not been getting huge minutes anyways. They're just everybody's splitting minutes, so nobody really has much value. For the Dallas Mavericks, Reggie Bullock, if you need threes, even though he only hit 1, we should trust him. Jalen Brunson had a huge game, 20 points. Without Luka, that's expected. Spencer Dinwiddie without Luka had a good game. Sure, that's also expected. They have 2 more games. You know, if Luka plays, Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson, you could stream them for points and threes and some assists. And both guys don't really get any defensive stats. But those 3 points, threes, and assists, they should provide plenty. Dorian Finney-Smith, great game. 3 steals, 5 rebounds, 2 threes, and 14 points. This is exactly what he does. Great. I think he's just getting a lot of usage lately. Maxi Kleber, 21 points. The guy is intriguing. Sometimes he will pop off because, you know, he can block a bunch of shots. But most nights he's just not doing anything. Let's look at the next game of the night. Without LeBron, Philadelphia only beat them by 5, 126-121. Matisse Thybulle played 22 minutes, had 2 steals and a block. Yep, for defensive purposes. Tobias Harris, 20 points. Yeah. Not a big fan. Next year, do not take this guy in the top 60. I don't think we want to take this. We won't have anything to do with this guy. Unless he gets traded to a different team, maybe he's the number 1 guy that he can put up some numbers. But now with Harden and Joel Embiid there, and with the emergence of Tyrese Maxey, he's like the 3rd, 4th option. And majority of his value coming from his efficiency and scoring and rebounding. So it's not like if he doesn't get the usage, he can do it in the other areas. He's not gonna get the assist, although he got 5 here, or defensive stats. Joel Embiid, what a game! 8 for 12 on the free throw line is embarrassingly bad, but 3 steals, 3 blocks, 10 rebounds, 30 points. Yeah, and James Harden struggled, 7 for 18, and I do wonder. I mean, we're getting to the end of the season. Is Harden the guy we want to take top 5 next year? Because he used to be an Iron Man, but now with the hamstring issue, is he going to be healthy next year? I don't know. Because he actually missed a bunch of... Like, if he's going to be healthy all year, he's top 5. But then he's just like another Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving, where he's going to rest back-to-backs, another year older. So we would rather take a top 5 guy that's younger than Harden is going to play all the games. And, and also he hasn't been great lately either. 24 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. But because he gets so many assists, because the free throws, he's still very, very solid in fantasy. You know, on a per game basis, top 5, top 6 in my opinion. But you know, we have Jokic way better than Harden, and then we have KD and Kyrie in Brooklyn. So maybe not top 5. Him and AD really in the last 2 years really. Yeah. So let's get back to fantasy. Yeah, but this squad, I mean, there's really not much value, because Embiid and Harden, they ate it all. For the LA Lakers, LeBron was out. Dwight Howard came in, played 24 minutes, but if LeBron comes back, they play some team. LeBron's going to play at the center. Can't trust it. Stanley Johnson had a great game. And they keep starting Gabriel. And they were winning games with him. But he's not a fantasy option. I don't think. Austin Reeves, nope. Malik Monk came in and had a huge game. Malik Monk is the only guy on this team that I think needs to be streamed or roster. Carmelo Anthony is very up and down. I don't think we want to trust Melo too much, and they actually have one more game left this week. So drop City for everybody. Drop Russell Westbrook as well, if you don't need the assist. But if you're pounding all the efficiency categories, you obviously could hold. Let's talk about the next game. My God, San Antonio Spurs. They beat, and I'm interested to see where San Antonio Spurs is in the standings, because last time I checked, them and Lakers kind of close, competing for that 10th spot. Ooh, they are 2 games behind. They are 1.5 games behind the Pelicans and 2 games behind the Lakers. So technically, Lakers' spot is not that secure. Spurs, they're coming for that playing spot. Because it was a blowout. I mean, look at their roster. Look at the Portland Trail Blazers roster. And Justice Winslow left the game. The guy just gets hurt every single game, man. He left the game 7 minutes. So they're playing basically a G League team. So Devontae Murray easy working 30 minutes. And Devin Vassell is the only guy on this team that and Josh Richardson, if they have a back-to-back. But my God, they have 2 games this week. Yep, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's Drop City. You probably should drop all these guys. Other than Pirtle and Devontae Murray, all the other guys needs to go in a playoff matchup. But come back next week. If you made it, Devin Vassell, Josh Richardson, these guys, they could be good options. They have 4 games next week. The Portland Trail Blazers, yes, everybody's out. Is Fernie Simons coming back? I don't think so. So Chris Dunn needs to be rostered, and Brandon Williams is splitting the point. And I think these 2 guys are capable of putting up numbers. Efficiency might be rough. In Chris Dunn's case, he's just a beast at getting steals. And they have 4 games next week. Drew Eubanks really established himself now, 36 minutes. Trenton Watford. So these 3 guys I think they're absolutely must rosters, given the schedule, given the opportunity they have. And I don't think Nurkic is coming back. What's the point? They have like 8-9 games and they're out of the playoffs, right? So all these guys, let's roster them. And that's it for all the games, guys. I'll see you next time.